Þorstein and the Glass Mountain. The family's challenge. In a mist-shrouded village at the foot of a towering glass-covered mountain lived Þorstein, the youngest of 3 brothers. His father was a humble farmer, his older brothers strong and respected, but Þorstein was known as Boots because he wore ragged boots and was often the last to be noticed. When the king offered his daughter's hand in marriage to whoever climbed the glass mountain and retrieved 3 golden apples she held, the entire kingdom watched. Those who succeeded would marry the princess and inherit half the realm. Þorstein's older brothers tried first boldly riding horses, using force, and charging straight up. But the slope was slick magic, turning swords to dust and legs to jelly. They fell, bruised, and defeated. Þorstein watched from ash heap he sat in, and his brothers laughed, calling him soft and useless. Rising doubt. That evening, the village sat silent by their hearths. Þorstein's father sighed. Even the villagers shook heads. Þorstein stood alone outside his window, looking at the mountain twinkling in moonlight. He shivered. What if they're right? What if I'm just too small? He slipped outside and found a tarnished sword, an old saddle, and a rusty helm, remnants of ancient journeys. Something inside him stirred a voice saying, "Sometimes you climb not to prove power, but to prove heart." The secret training. Þorstein crept into the woods at dawn. He didn't ride a stallion. He practiced on a stubborn pony. He walked the slopes barefoot, learning how each crystal pane gave way. He stayed until sunset, sometimes alone, sometimes watched by an older woman in wool cloak, a retired knight who noticed his persistence. She said nothing, just nodded each day until she offered him guidance. You fight not with sword, fight with determination. Let them learn from your fall and rise again. He took her words and practiced self-belief until he could feel courage grow under his ragged boots. The final trial. On the 3rd day of the royal contest, after all official challengers failed again, the king asked, "Is anyone else left?" A soldier whispered, "The youngest son of the farmer might try." The brothers scoffed. The villagers gasped. Þorstein swapped his worn boots for fresh ones, though they still bore holes, and mounted his pony. He didn't shout, he didn't boast, he just climbed, cautiously at first, paused, then climbed faster. He used small stakes to grip the glass. He waited out his breath when icy wind attacked. Hours passed. At one point, he slipped and fell. He lay trembling, staring into the royal gallery far below. But then he sat up. This is the moment courage begins. He climbed again, triumph without triumph. At the cliff's peak, the princess held 3 apples in a golden basket. No trumpets. She waited. Þorstein dismounted, reached up, and took the apples one at a time, bowing his head in respect. With no cries, no grandeur, he rode down. Below, silence. No cheers. Then, applause erupted. The king stepped forward and said, "A true hero isn't the loudest, he's the one who dared when others doubted. Today, you carry not only the apples, but our hope forward." After the mountain, the kingdom celebrated. Þorstein married the princess, not because he was strong, but because he was dependable. His older brothers bowed their heads, ashamed of earlier jeers. He never forgot the old night, or that cold morning of training. He built a school on the mountain's base, teaching others that courage grows in steady steps, in falling and rising, in doubt and persistence. Villagers learned, bravery isn't always roaring, it's keeping your soft voice steady when no one else hears it. Moral of the story. Courage isn't defined by grand entrances, it's proven in the quiet choice to stand, to climb again, and to keep going even when no applause follows.